Spiritual guidance for Venus retrograde. Namaste, beloveds. This is Arya Sufiana of Feminine Soul Awakening, and this guidance, of course, is for everyone, whether you are a man or a woman. So, the most important topics that I'm covering, I'm not giving you an astrological report. Please understand this. This is going to be a spiritual guidance, how you can use the energies of Venus retrograde to bring about the biggest transformations in your life. First of all, I will tell you just a little bit about astrology. This is happening in the sign of Leo. Leo is the sign of the heart, sign of the love, sign of what do you love doing? How do you love yourself? Do you love yourself? What are your patterns when it comes to romantic love relationships? Are you wanting to attract love in your life? And of course, Venus itself is the planet of love. So the themes of love, whether it's self-love or wanting to manifest or attract love, are very, very strong right now. So I'm going to talk about self-love primarily because if you learn how to love yourself completely, authentically, in a very real way that honors you, that accepts each and every part of who you are, then you will automatically start magnetizing that external love as well towards yourself because you have activated your inner lover, right? And the whole world is a mirror to us. So once I activate my inner lover, then attracting that in the external world will be that much easier. Okay, so let me just adjust my tripod a little bit before I start. Okay. Yes. So the themes of Venus are, of course, quite a few. But whenever there is a retrograde happening, we are being asked to reflect, redo. We have to, maybe you learned certain patterns, certain ways of being, of showing up, of loving yourself or not loving yourself in your childhood. So all these themes are very important to look at. So self-love, self-worth, heart healing. Are you still carrying some of your exes in your heart? Have you still not healed from some of your past heartbreaks? Very important theme. And manifestation. Venus is the planet, if you are, doing all the things right now during Venus retrograde, learning her lessons, she will help you manifest. There is a saying that we don't attract what we want, we attract who we are. That's very important. Very, very powerful message. We don't attract who we are, but we don't attract what we want, which most of the manifestation experts are going to tell you. Just keep on, doing all these affirmations. I want this, or I already have this, I already have that. That's the new kind of manifestation practice that's going on. Pretend that you already have this. But it's not gonna work if you have not done the shadow work, if you have not healed your inner child, because then you will not be treating yourself the way you truly deserve to be treated. Then how will you attract or manifest someone who will treat you that way, right? If you cannot be with yourself, how can you expect someone else to want to be with you? Very simple. So first I would like to talk about shadow work. So whenever a planet is going invisible, then it's very often, especially since it's the theme of love, then what is there in your heart that is hiding under the carpet? In simplest words, you can say that shadow work is bringing things out that are hiding under the carpet. Why are they hiding under the carpet? Why is your real self, your authentic self, your self-love, why is it all hiding under the carpet? When you were a child, when you were growing up, a lot of things were not allowed in your life, maybe because of the cultural programming, maybe because of the traumas. So you got this indirect message that who you are actually really is not good enough. You are not allowed to love yourself. You are not allowed to, speak your truth. You are not allowed to feel your anger, feel your sadness. So all those things you had to hijack it and put it under the carpet. I like to just say it in very simple words so it can be relatable. So if this is the circle of who you are, and this is the line in the center, everything that you are conscious of in yourself is above this line, and everything that is hiding in your deep unconscious is under this line. So the real self has to be brought out from the hiding. And that is why stories such as Inanna, which I will not go into right now, but it's a story of a goddess who has to visit the underworld, and then she finds parts of herself, the rejected parts of herself, and then she becomes her whole self, the complete goddess. So here you are integrating your darkness and your light. So what is hiding in the shadowlands is your unhealthy patterns. So what patterns do you have in love? And how much permission do you feel to love your own self? For this, I will come to the second point. So first thing is we want to do shadow work. Second thing is we want to heal the childhood wounds, heal the mother and father wounds. And it's not just that we get traumas just only from how we were raised by our parents. It can happen also through other experiences. Maybe in your school there was some bullying. Whatever happened in your childhood, you really want to heal the wounds of your inner child. So I will give you some tips a little bit later on, but I'm just right now giving you all the themes that this Venus retrograde will support healing right now, so that you can have everything that you truly desire. So getting in touch with our desires is very important right now as well. But after doing the shadow work, after doing the healing work, then you can start working on manifesting your desires. Then after working on the theme of working on inner child and healing the mother and father wounds, I want you to focus on claiming your self-worth. Self-worth, of course, self-worth and self-love are deeply connected. But self-worth also can include not just attracting that love in your life, but it can also be attracting that financial abundance in your life. So if you have not been able to attract that external love or that abundance that you feel that you are truly worthy of, then you must really work on self-worth. Okay? So some of the ways you want to work on self-love is, one practice you can start doing is start writing a love letter to yourself. At least I've actually been doing it for the whole period of Venus retrograde, 40 days period, and I had gone live on Instagram. I have not been going live so much on YouTube, and I intend to do that more regularly now. So in that video I have given some different tips. If you want, you can visit my Instagram page, same name, Feminine Soul Awakening, or Arya Sufiana, and you can find that video there. So writing a love letter to yourself, what is the best way to write a love letter to yourself? You're not going to just make it flowery and all sweet. Sweetness is very important. Giving yourself the appreciation is very important. Telling yourself what all you love about yourself, very important. But also doing some expressing some difficult parts of yourself, like maybe you gave in to that desire to of addiction. You started eating unhealthy junk food at night because you have this food addiction. Can you write a love letter to that girl in you that is not feeling worthy, not feeling seen, and as soon as you did that food addiction, you shamed yourself, unconsciously. You're doing all these things unconsciously. Why? Because you were programmed to shame yourself. So in this moment, when you are writing the love letter, I want you to tell yourself, my dear Arya, I love you, even though you gave in to that craving today I know that it was a moment of almost like that felt like self-abusive. So I can even talk to my own body, my dear body. I really feel like I abused you when I took that cigarette, when I gave this junk food to you like late at night. But the truth is that who, however you are, in every moment, the truth is that I really, really love you. And then start showing empathy to that dark part of yourself. So, right now, you're also indirectly doing shadow work. Start showing empathy to this dark part of yourself that doesn't feel good enough, that feels like she has to hide herself because you're going to shame her just the way the rest of the world shamed her. So, in this moment, you can say the truth is that I, I really love you and I understand why you gave in to this desire of doing this something that's very, very unhealthy for you, because this is what happened in our childhood, and you are not feeling worthy enough, you are not feeling seen enough, and I am so sorry that I have not made you feel worthy, I have not made you feel seen. It's okay if the rest of the world did it, but I am doing the same thing right now to you, and that is not okay. I want to change this. I want to now start meeting you by writing this letter to you. I want to see you. And in every moment, whether it's dark or light, I want to give you love. And you will see that as you start expressing your self love to yourself like this, giving love to every part of yourself, dark or light, you will see automatically the shame will start healing, the guilt will start healing, and that inner child, that wounded child will also start healing. You can also, in your letter, sometimes specifically address this letter to your own inner child and tell her that I know that you did not feel that you had the right to express your creativity because your papa always shut you off because he was very angry, because he was carrying his own trauma. But the truth is that right now he is not around, and still I am not giving you the permission to express your creativity and be your too much self. And I want to give love. I want to give love to this part of you that is so creative and so expressive. And the truth is, I love you for this. I love you for this because you teach me how to be my authentic self by being sometimes minor drama queen, just dancing in the bedroom and expressing her wild side. So start expressing this unconditional love like a good enough mother and a good enough father to your own inner child. So, so you can do this practice of writing love letter to your own self. Then you can also do this letter writing practice to release some excess from your life, right? So if we are doing healing of the heart, we also have to realize that if we keep on holding all our excess in our heart, we will not be able to manifest that future love that we are dreaming of, that we are truly desiring of. So in order to release your exes, there are many practices you can do. One, you can, of course, express your truth, especially if the ex was a toxic ex. Then express all the truths that you did not feel the permission to express in front of them because maybe you went into your victim mode and they were like the bully. So express your truth. If you are feeling angry, express your anger through the letter. And I would say express the anger even like sitting in front of a chair verbally, and also if you feel like punching some pillows, express the anger at an embodied level. Okay, this is very, very important. And after expressing your truth through letters and also through this, talking in front of an empty chair and expressing your anger to the pillow and whatever else you wish to express, then you can also make a list of the beautiful qualities, the wonderful positive qualities that were there in your ex that attracted you towards him or her. And very often realize that we are attracted towards people that have sometimes the opposite qualities, or they have certain qualities in them that we are lacking in our own selves. That we are attracted in them because in relationship we become one with each other. So in that sacred union, what is happening is I am becoming a little bit more like you, and you are becoming a little bit more like me. So if my ex was very good with creating healthy boundaries, and I was not at all good at boundaries, if my ex was living his sacred purpose and I was not living my sacred purpose, so I will write that down in my list of all the wonderful things that I was attracted towards in him. And even if your ex was a narcissist, even if he was toxic or she was toxic, you can still, they will still have some positive and some good qualities. Make a list of those qualities and then try to awaken and activate these qualities within yourself. This will help you become even more and more whole. So this is also part of shadow work, by the way, right? When you are integrating your darkness and your light, you are trying to become more whole, as I said earlier. So here you are activating some parts of yourself which are there as a potential, but then you have not activated it. So you were attracted towards this person. Very often it happens, like on Instagram or Facebook, people write to me like, oh, I'm in love with you. How can you be in love with me when you have never met me? Which means you are in love with some of the qualities that I am expressing. If I am expressing the qualities of self-love, then you are wanting to practice self-love in your life. If I'm expressing the qualities of self-expression or empowerment of, or channeling the energies of the divine feminine, the infinite unconditional love of the divine feminine, it means you are attracted towards that and you want to bring more of that in your life. So how are you going to do it? You're going to do some self-love practices, you're going to do some spiritual practices. If you are attracted towards this conscious side of me, then you will do practices that will help you become more conscious. So make a list of all the things that you were drawn towards in your ex, and you will see it will start bringing you more and more closure towards that ex. After doing shadow work and releasing all the dark stuff, you are doing the light work. Okay? And then among practices, so after doing the love letter practice and talking to the empty chair, then you can also practice emotional freedom technique. This has really helped many people. I can make emotional freedom technique videos later on. It's also called tapping, EFT. I can make a video later on, but right now I just want to focus on spiritual guidance for Venus retrograde. But there are many videos on YouTube. If you write down the themes that you really know that you must work on, low self-worth. If you have low self-worth, then go and find on YouTube, some videos, EFT videos for low self-worth and such things. And then I also want you to work on healing that inner child by expressing your truth either to your parents directly, or again, you can use the empty chair. Imagine that your parent is your mom or your dad. First, talk to one parent, maybe your mom. You can start with your mom. Express your truth, the dark truth which you cannot tell her directly. Tell her, Mom, when you said this, when you did this, this is how it affected my life. These are the patterns it has created in me of rejection, self-rejection, abandonment, whatever it is. And then same thing with the father. And this will really help you also to integrate your inner child and heal your inner child even more. And sometimes you might also have to express anger towards your parents, like again, just in that intense embodied way, just as I mentioned earlier. It's important. It's not that you are being violent towards them physically or in person. It's just that you are releasing the energy that is stuck in your heart chakra, because whenever the energy is stuck, it keeps us feeling stuck in our life. When you release that energy, it can bring transformation in our life. Then this practice you can do to attract, manifest your future love into your life. First, make a list of what kind of relationship you want, like what are the themes, what are the qualities of the relationship. There will be authentic communication in this relationship. There will be creative self-expression in this relationship. We will be raising each other up. We will be worshiping each other. That's what I definitely want, all of these things in my relationship. There is authenticity in this relationship. There is truth in this relationship. There is deep spirituality. We are doing spiritual practices together. There is shadow work in this relationship. We both are committed to doing shadow work on ourselves so that it is there as a theme in this relationship. And then you can make a list of what qualities you want to see in your partner or want to attract in your partner. Somebody who is very loving, very caring, very authentic, somebody who is for me, it's like I want to attract a very masculine man. I'm not saying that this is the best thing for everyone, but this is personally what I want. So if I want to attract a man who is really claimed his authentic divine masculine essence, then who do I need to be? So the third list will be, who do I need to be in order to attract a man? I'm a straight woman, so I want to attract a straight man. And you can do this no matter what your gender orientation is. You can attract the qualities that you really want in your partner. So I'm just expressing about what I want and who I am. So if I want to attract those qualities in my future man, who do I need to be? If I want to attract a masculine man, then I need to also claim my feminine essence, work on healing my feminine essence so that I am more channeling the light qualities rather than going into more the shadow qualities of the feminine essence. If I want to attract someone who is generous, then I also need to be a very generous person. If I want to attract someone who is authentic and who is living his sacred purpose, then I also want to be authentic and I also want to live my sacred purpose, right? And then that's the main things I'd written down on my list. I want you to start noticing what is happening in your life right now, because life is always guiding us. You might feel like, oh my goodness, this is such a terrible experience. It's so negative, and I wish I was not feeling so depressed. I wish I was not feeling so lonely. I wish this kind of triggering did not happen in my life. But trust that in Venus retrograde, everything that is happening, maybe there is a message in it for you that this is what I need to work on. For instance, if I suddenly started having feelings of loneliness, and if I had put my work always in the front, that my work is everything, my work is my worship, that is beautiful, that my work and my sacred calling is my worship, and I gave my entire time and attention to that. But if right now these kind of feelings are coming up, it means that universe is telling me, or my heart is telling me, that I need to right now pay more attention to the needs of my own heart. If I had a very maybe you have a narcissistic father, and if you had a big huge fight with him because he has been crossing your boundaries again and again and again, then maybe universe is telling you that, hey, you have been wanting to manifest your man in your life, but look at you. Look at the patterns you are carrying. You don't have the ability to put boundaries in front of someone who is who's destroying your self-worth. And if you don't feel worthy, then how are you going to attract your soulmate that you feel that you are truly desiring, and who you really want your soulmate to treat you the way you deserve to be treated? Now, if you are not treating yourself the way you deserve to be treated, because If you treated yourself the way you deserve to be treated, you would not be so close to the narcissist who is choking your voice, who is abusing you, who is destroying your self worth, right? And again, if you bring about this change and you put the healthy boundaries, this will not just help you manifest, uh, it will not just help you go at least a few steps closer towards manifesting your love, your soulmate, but it will also maybe help you manifest the financial abundance and every other kind of abundance that you are worthy of, because now you have claimed your self worth. Okay. And if you want to work on your self-worth, like of course I told you about the love letter and about the EFT practices, I think you can also go a few steps ahead and like you can do practices. I want you to start doing practices. Sorry, I haven't made like these things I'm not saying from the notes. I'm just thinking and I'm just channeling whatever messages wants to come through me. If you want to practice self-love, you ask yourself, what do I love? What do I love? If I love dancing, go dancing more often during, especially during this Venus retrograde period. If I love singing, if I love theater, if I love the sunsets, the nature, whatever it is that you love, go start doing more of that, because then you will start channeling more of the love energy in your life. This way you will increase your self-love. This way you will increase also your self-worth. Okay? And another practice you can do is sit in front of the mirror and talk to yourself. Talk to yourself. And especially start with the sentence that I know, my love, I have not treated you the way you deserve to be treated. I've treated you sometimes as if you are so worthless. But this is what happened in our childhood, blah, 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 blah. You can go and have a deep dialogue with your own self. This practice can totally, radically transform your life. Okay? And then, of course, if you feel that you are carrying a lot of traumas, like the trauma is very, very, very high level trauma, then I would say 3 things that you really must do is regular breath work. Again, there are a lot of breath work videos on YouTube. You can just go and play any of them. There is 1-hour breath work videos. Go do it, see whichever one suits you. So breath work will help you heal that dissociation. Dissociation meaning the trauma was so much that you disconnected, disassociated with yourself, from yourself, right? So now you want to reassociate with yourself. You want to get reconnected with yourself. You want to get reconnected with your own heart, with your own needs, with your own worth, with your own self-love, with your own empowerment, right? So the breath work will really help you heal the dissociation, the disconnection. Second practice is movement, any kind of movement, but movement is very important to help you heal from trauma. And I would say third thing would be again to journal. Journal, express your truth, express your emotions. And coming to emotions, if Venus is about healing the patterns of love, then we are also, and especially if it's in the sign of Leo, like Leo is a sign of the heart, you really want to ask yourself, what emotions are there in my heart? Because heart is connected with the emotions, right? So what all the people who are talking about manifestation, they are saying you want to be high vibration, you should always be happy, and no, that's not practical, that's not real. You have to have unconditional love for yourself regardless of what emotion comes up. Yeah, there is a practice called 5 rhythms, and in 5 rhythms we dance all our emotions, all the 5 primary emotions: fear, anger, sadness, jealousy, whatever it is coming up, give it love. rather than judging it like, oh, negative emotion, sadness, go away, you are not high vibration. That is spiritual bypassing, that is emotional bypassing, and emotions are the feminine, so that is also feminine bypassing, and you don't want to do that, right? That is not going to help you heal your heart. Judgment, criticism, calling it negative, and that will just cause more suppression. From suppression, you want to move toward expression and acceptance. Again, from suppression, you are not good enough, you should be ashamed of yourself. No. From suppression and shaming and judging and criticism, you want to move towards expression. Suppression to expression. Depression to expression. Express your truth and give acceptance to everything that is coming up. Complete acceptance. So this will really help you with self-love. And also know that the emotions are there for a reason. If sadness is coming up, it is telling you that there is some kind of a heartbreak that has happened. Something has happened. If you cannot figure out why you are always sad or depressed, then look at your childhood again, right? And then trust that the sadness is there for a reason, and rather than judging yourself for having the sadness, just on full moon or something, play some sad movies and cry, cry and cry. Release the sadness. Express the sadness. Then you will naturally come into joy. But you cannot force yourself to be high vibe and you have to be happy, ha 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 ha. No, that's not even real happiness. That will not even be real laughter, but it's kind of funny, right? If anger is coming up, also again ask yourself, why is the anger here? Before you try to release the anger, try to ask yourself, why is the anger here? Very often there is some kind of boundary violation that might have happened, some kind of dishonoring, disrespect, or something has fundamentally gone wrong. So ask yourself, in what way have I not been honored? In what way have my boundaries been violated? And in what way maybe I am also continuing to do the same thing to myself? So the anger, and then if you find out who you are angry towards, you can again sit in front of the empty chair and tell your truth, express your truth, make animal angry sounds and let your anger out. Then again, naturally, you will start coming into the high vibe of happiness and joy. Then if you are feeling jealousy towards someone, we don't want to use the J word, it's such a negative word, you should just hide it under the carpet and pretend that is not there. But by pretending that it is not there, it will get even stronger. Have you heard the saying, whatever you resist persists? If you resist looking at the jealousy will get bigger and bigger. So instead of doing that, ask yourself, engage with the jealousy. Ask the jealousy, why are you here? Are you jealous of that spiritual facilitator who is much more, successful than me? And then ask yourself like, maybe I'm feeling jealous of her or him because I have the same qualities in me. So rather than being jealous of her, let me find out what is it that she is doing that I'm not. So the jealousy will give you that fire to move towards your purpose, more full power. If you are jealous of someone who is dressed very feminine and beautiful, it happens with me a lot. There are all these women that have been programmed to reject their feminine essence, whether it is by patriarchy or by feminism. But why can't you be feminine and be powerful? Of course, you have the full right to be like a tomboy if that's who you feel you really are. If you want to be transgender, be transgender. If you want to be a masculine woman, be a masculine woman. Doesn't matter. But is this what you really want? If you are telling yourself, no, I'm a masculine woman, I'm a tomboy, but if you're jealous of a woman who is dressed very feminine, which has happened a lot with me, then I feel like going and asking these women, are you sure if you are really a tomboy or it is just an identity that you took over in order to be cool, in order to sound very feminist? Because you can be empowered, you can be feminine and still be empowered, right? Or to please the to challenge the patriarchy. You can challenge the patriarchy being clad in a simple cotton sari, having a 5-meter cloth draped around you. If you are empowered from here, you can be empowered in a 5 meter fucking cloth draped around you, and you can still be in your power. Does not matter. Okay? So, this is the way you can work with your emotions. When you work with your emotions, also, your heart will start healing. So, of course, there is always so much more I will have to say. I can talk for hours, especially sharing things about consciousness and healing and shadow work and healing the divine feminine. These are my passions, and to bring more awakening on planet Earth by healing the voice of the divine feminine, so that we can bring back the balance between the masculine essence and the feminine essence, is one of my biggest callings. So Venus retrograde is also a potent time for you to claim your feminine essence if you truly want to. Even as a man, even as a man, you have feminine and masculine essence, energies both in you. Transgender man, whatever, I'm talking to all identities, men and women out there. You have the feminine essence inside of you. And if it has been wounded, I think most of us have wounded feminine, then it's high time that you give voice to that feminine energy. You give permission to her to be her intuitive self, to have her emotions, to listen to her body, to rest. The feminine is the moon goddess. To rest at night, that is the feminine. The masculine says, go and do your action in the world. The feminine essence says, I have the permission to rest and relax and listen to my body, right? So bring healing to your feminine essence as well during this Venus retrograde, and this will also help you heal your heart and fall madly and deeply and authentically in love with yourself. Why, my love? Because you are worth it. Divine blessings to all of you. If you liked my content, make sure that you like and subscribe. Take care.